catch yourself buying clothes that you don't even need, even if your wardrobe is overflowing? There's a hidden psychology as to why we overspend on clothes specifically, and once you know this, you are not going to overspend on clothes ever again. Are you curious? Okay, let's dive in. So the first tip is the availability heuristic. But essentially what this is if you keep seeing ads for the same items everywhere, every time you open your phone and it's on your homepage, or every time you look at a website, you are reminded about a certain product. And the brain sets importance on things that we see really frequently. So for example, all of these trending products and certain style of clothes or trends, we get pulled into this by our brain in a way because we keep seeing images of it, so we think it's actually important to have these items. And a way to counteract this is to stop browsing so much on these damn websites where you can actually buy the item. If you reduce the stimuli, even on social media where you keep seeing influencers highlight certain clothes to sell, you are less likely to fall into this trait. Also, if you reduce the frequency in which you pick up these sales emails, just unsubscribe from them so you're not even tempted. But the more we see of something, it causes an importance in our brain that, oh my god, these new pair of shoes are so important, I need to buy them, I keep seeing them everywhere. And it almost tricks your brain into thinking this is a need. Everyone else has this, but I don't have it. When in fact, it's not a need, it's a want. And when we start to distinguish between needs and wants, we are less likely to overspend in that want category. The second point is social proof. And this is a psychological phenomenon when essentially, when we see other people doing certain things, we feel like we have to do it too. So for example, if we see all of our friends posting about the latest gear or the latest shoes that they have, right? We feel like we have to do the same also and post that image. And a way to counteract this is to really understand the friendships that you are building. Are you connecting with people who have the life that you want to live, like being more minimalist, being more intentional with their spending and their living? Yes, having stuff they love, but not over consuming in every part of their life. It's okay to have certain friends who are shopaholics. I definitely have friends who are shopaholics too, and I love them dearly, right? But I also try and reach out to people who are more minimalist and have less value on stuff. And when I have a mix of that in my, community, in my circle, I feel a lot less pressure to buy more stuff, to be honest. Also, the second thing you can do to counteract this is to really understand your goals and your values. Everyone is specific and different in their own right, okay? Everyone will have different goals, and it's important to be authentic to who you are and not to chase the newest fad or newest trend, okay? What are your specific goals? If you're not sure, maybe write down the 3 things of how you'd like to live in the next 20 years, okay? If you're age 20 now or 30, understand how you want to live if you're 40 or 50 years of age. Do you want to have a house that you own? Do you want to have children? Is family in the future? Do you want to live a healthy and active lifestyle? Whatever it is, you can start to put those seeds in now and start to save money to get to that goal, or start to eat healthier or have less stuff to be more minimalist over time. Tip number 3 then is the endowment effect. How many times have we bought this cool leather jacket, right? We've spent £200 on it, okay? And because it's ours, we tend to value it more. So this definitely happens to me. I will hang that leather jacket up for days and not wear it because I feel like, oh my god, I don't want to get a scratch on it. The endowment effect is something that we will overvalue just because it's ours. And in this way, it kind of tries to justify you paying £200 on a jacket that you don't even wear. So a way to counteract this is to really ask yourself, before you buy more stuff, understand the inventory that's currently in your wardrobe right now. Do you need a jacket? Do you have 0 jackets and it's a little bit chilly outside and it's something that you need in your wardrobe? If that's the case, that's different. But if you look in your wardrobe and you have multiple layers of jumpers, big jackets, big scarves, big items, do you need another jacket? Probably not. Once we do a little inventory check of what we actually own, it'll put it in the forefront of our mind the next time we walk past the shop and understand, do we need this new item we're seeing in the window? If you're finding this video valuable, if you could subscribe, that would really help the channel out. Another way to do this is to practice a 3-day rule. I always do this. So if I see something online that I really love, before I buy it, I wait 3 days. And if I'm still thinking about that item after 3 days and I have the money and can afford it and it's not an additional thing that I already own, it's not a multiple, I will of course go and buy that thing, because we're all allowed to have stuff that we love. We have a wants category in our budget, so it's okay to put money towards things you actually want and need in your life. Tip number 4 is cognitive dissonance. And this is such a weird and interesting concept. Essentially, it could be maybe you really care about animal rights, but you're you're a meat eater. So you feel really guilty about eating meat because you love it, but then it's also like, oh, I feel really bad because I'm, all about animal rights and this poor little lamb that I'm eating has died for my meal. It's like this weird contradiction that you have in your mind and you're unsure which way to go. And this can come across in many different ways. It can be, of course, in terms of buying. You want to be more minimalist, but you keep buying more clothes. It's like this contradiction in your brain that you haven't been able to change that habit. So when you start to think about, are you falling into this trap? You can bring it into the forefront of your mind more. And a way to do this is honestly setting boundaries with yourself. If you make £3,000 every month and you set a budget of £80 and that's all you're going to spend on clothes every month, but it doesn't mean you have to spend £80. If you already have loads of items, of course you don't need to spend that money in that category. You could either save the difference or maybe do something like an experience instead. But when you set boundaries for yourself, you're less likely to spend hundreds or thousands on impulse buys. And also not to be too hard on yourself. If you've gone over budget this month and have spent £300 on clothes and you're really in the dark about it and you're like, why do I keep doing this? It's okay not to be too hard on yourself, because you might go into a bit of an emotional spiral and buy more clothes again to feel better because we've developed that habit, okay? So it's okay to just accept the loss. If you've gone over budget this month, it's okay. The next month is a new month and you've set that boundary there of a certain amount that you can afford to spend on something. It's okay not to go like cold turkey straight away, £0 on clothes for the rest of your life, okay? That's not going to work out either. So for example, if you currently have £0 in your emergency fund, but you know that you need 3 to 6 months of living expenses in it, that can be a financial goal for yourself, and it will help you steer away from buying all these clothes and actually putting the difference into that pot of money to grow that financial goal. Or maybe it's to buy your first property, okay? Or a second investment property. Whatever life stage you're at, everyone will be different, but everyone will have financial goals, whatever age you are. So if you're not sure of what yours are, maybe get a notebook right now and write down your 3 top financial goals over the next 5, 10, 15 years. Yes, that seems bonkers, but even if we set aside £50 right now, if you invest that into an S&P 500 for the next 20 years, this is how much money you'll have. It's not short of anything small, okay? But only £50 a month, everyone can do that. So if you start to understand your financial goals, you'll start to naturally spend less on frivolous things and impulse buys and put more money towards your future self. It's great to understand these psychological traps that we can all fall into. Nobody is free from these, everyone falls into them. But when you're aware of them, it will make you really pause the next time you're about to pop your credit card down to pay for more clothes. I'll put a video here which I really think will help you on your wealth and minimalist journey, guys. But I tend to post 2 videos a week, and if you want to learn more about saving money and having less stuff, I'd really appreciate a subscribe. That really helps the channel out. Okay, thanks guys, bye.